welcome to the Ladies' Room. Today it's my pleasure to have back on the show Eileen Weilbacher, who is a holistic health counselor and makes the most delicious things that are healthy for us to eat. And Eileen will go into your home and look at what you've got in your cabinets and your refrigerator and tell you how to cook it in a healthy way or a healthy alternative for those foods. And my dear friend Linda Ardigo, who is a very, very interesting woman, one of the first ladies in film. And since we've been sort of doing a series on women reinventing themselves, Linda, 10 years ago, became a landscape designer. She's a wonderful artist. You tell her what you envision in your garden, and she immediately does a beautiful watercolor showing you what it will look like and what the things are, and poof, you've got your dream garden. So welcome, Linda Gardens.
Thank you.
Welcome, Eileen. And what are you making for us today?
I'm making a carrot ginger lentil soup.
Yummy.
And it's perfect for a day when you have a little chill.
Yeah.
So I started boiling some water.
Is that a pressure cooker?
Yeah, but I don't use it as a pressure cooker anymore. I just use it to cook in.
I haven't seen one of those since probably the 60s. My mother was notorious for exploding the pressure cooker. She'd be making pea soup. And
that's not a thing you want exploding on you.
A lot of times, if she didn't have a ham bone, she'd make it with hot dogs. So there'd be cut up hot dogs all over our ceiling. I'd come home, there'd be pea soup and hot dogs all over the ceiling. It was so nuts.
Well, I don't use it anymore because it doesn't have a gasket on it. But it's a great pot. It's a nice heavy-duty pot, and it doesn't weigh that much. So we've peeled the carrots. We've washed the carrots, taken off the ends. And now we're going to start boiling them in the water. The water has got a little bit of bubble going on.
How much water do you have in there, like an inch or two? An inch?
Yeah.
Less than an inch.
It kind of looks like it boiled down a bit, yeah.
That's good. You don't need a lot of water.
And I have here the red lentils. The reason I use red lentils is because they cook up very quickly, and it takes about the same amount of time to cook the lentils as it does to cook the carrots, so it's great, you know? So you can put them in the same time.
And no soaking?
I've never used red lentils.
They're a lot smaller. I did rinse them out. They're a lot smaller.
Beautiful color.
And they cook up as quickly, you know, as vegetables, so you don't have to have any preparation in advance. You don't have to think about it the night before, and that's something that I like, because sometimes you don't have time to think about all these things.
I have a question. How about the iron content of red lentils?
Oh, I don't know. I know they're very high in protein.
Yes.
Well,
I'm not sure if because they're orange.
Very anti-carcinogenic. They're really healthy for you, and they're high in antioxidants and anti-carcinogenic. So we all need to get into lentils.
Every day you should have some. That's what the Indians in East India do. Yeah.
Really? So is that kind of like the rice and bean thing, a perfect protein? So if you have lentils with some kind of...
Yep. They call it dal.
Oh, dal. I love dal.
Yeah.
And they make that from red lentils.
Yeah.
And they just use that as a sauce on everything.
Exactly.
Dal.
Sometimes I make it into the
take
sauce.
this? We'll be using this again.
In other words, they cook them up with flavor and make a puree?
You don't even have to because they melt down.
They melt down.
They melt down.
It's a kind of a thick sauce, and they have their curries and their chutneys and stuff, and the dal usually goes on the rice, or they soak the bread in it and eat the bread. They eat with their hands. They eat with the bread. They just take the bread and scoop everything up.
At our couscous parties.
So when I chop carrots, they tend to like pop all over my kitchen. Is there? I noticed you cut them straight, and I thought I was being like very zen, and I thought if I cut them on an angle, it seemed like the knife went through smoother, and I thought, oh, I'm in the Tao. But I don't know.
Well, I think that it has to do with the type of knife you have. This is a nice large blade.
Yeah.
It's wide. It's for vegetables, and also it's very sharp. I just sharpened it today because cutting carrots can be laborious.
Yes.
And I don't want to be putting a lot of energy into it. So if you just
look at
cut
that.
them, they kind of stick to the knife rather than jumping away, because I know I hate that.
That's great.
That used to happen all the time to me too, and I used to hate that. So
I love learning stuff about cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your tools are really important. You know, I always tell people, make sure you have the right tools. Even if you only have one knife, make sure it's a really good one. This is a Henkel knife, and It's made in Germany, and it has a very nice blade on it. I do have a sharpener specifically for it because you have to have the right metal to sharpen blades with. You don't just use any old metal. It has to be a harder metal to sharpen with. So,
Did you get one of those sort of electric sharpeners from Williams-Sonoma, or what does the sharpener look like?
no, it's actually, I have one of those that you go like this,
Yeah.
and then I have one that's like a panel, and it's got 2 sharpening blades inside, and you just run it through, and then you run it through the other one. It's like one is a harder grain, and one is a smoother grain.
Smoother grain, like your nail file.
Yes, exactly.
The 2 sides of your nail file.
Exactly.
I have one that it looks like brass knuckles, almost, only it's yellow plastic, and you hold it like this,
Oh.
and then you just run it over the knife. I was like running the knife
dangerous.
over it, but
it
you
sounds a
actually,
little
that's
scary.
the wrong way to do it. You run it over the knife, and I think they're just like $5 or so in the.
Yeah. Yeah, just make sure it's
remember where I got
compatible
it.
with your metal that your knife is made out of.
Seems to work, but not as well as that.
Yeah.
And you're creating a broth as we go?
Yeah, the
vegetables
the
will create
water
flavor?
absorbs all the flavor of the vegetables, yeah. And I'm going to put in some shallot over here. Shallots are very tasty. They're kind of like a garlic and an onion combination, which I think is wonderful, especially if you
And they're
don't have a lot of
mild.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
but they have a lot of flavor. So I just started cooking with them again. You know, sometimes I forget about it, and then I say, oh, I need to get some shallots.
I love shallots. I use
do
them with
too.
fish all the time
Do
when I
you?
saute my fish. Yes, absolutely.
Our tenants out in California on the ranch grew shallots for the first time this year. The giant shallots were this big. The shallots were
I
so
noticed
happy
that
on
this
that
year.
land.
Wow.
Or you'd open them and it would be a double shallot
Yeah,
inside.
sometimes I think this is a
She
double.
gave me a bag of them to take back to LA.
I was just thinking about the carrots. We know that the beta carotene is really good for us, beneficial. Is there any other ingredients or components to carrots?
Well, one thing that's really great about the beta carotene in the carrots or any other orange vegetables all have beta carotene in them. The carotenoids are what make it orange, you know, like your squashes and sweet potatoes. They're very good for our lungs. Vitamin A is
Really?
excellent
Good for your
our
lungs.
lungs. And this time of year, we need to be concerned about that because
for sure.
our lungs are being affected by the cold
You just
and
went through that.
people with, you know,
Change of
viruses and
seasons.
change of seasons definitely affects our lungs. So it's a good thing to incorporate carrots into your daily salad, or, you know, if you're going to put in a soup. I always put carrots into my
Oh,
soup.
I love
I used
carrots
to,
in soup.
Carrot
Oh, yeah.
juice, which I love.
Yeah.
With red peppers. And,
Really?
yeah, red pepper.
You
which
don't
is
love that red
huge.
pepper.
Yeah, but no, not in the hot spicy
Yeah.
pepper. Fresh red pepper.
Yeah, I hear you.
Beautiful that is.
That's exquisite.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
I'm an artist, so when I see stuff like this, I get excited. What can I say?
It's exquisite.
Nature is just unbelievably
It
wonderful,
is. It
isn't
is.
it?
It's got a
Just-
little green
When
in
you think
there.
about it, the whole planet is set up to work. There's fruits and vegetables hanging all over trees just for us to pick and eat, and beautiful packages, blue and yellow and green
Yeah.
and red, and we
they're
go right
in-
around killing things to eat.
No, and they grow in the right season.
Right,
For
what you
you.
need.
Now is what we need,
Right,
and this is what
the
we
orange
have.
things, the
Seasonal
root,
eating.
yeah,
Yep.
seasonal eating.
Yep.
The root vegetables now.
It's
Ooh, that
so
smells
important.
good already.
Yeah.
Yum.
So the shallots will give it a little zip, and then I'm going to add the ginger.
Now, I have to ask you
Ginger.
about ginger. This is, we have several questions. First, I'm noticing that you're not peeling the ginger.
You're not peeling the ginger.
I go
really
through
peel
all
it.
machinations trying to peel it with my carrot peeler and uppity, bumpity, bumpity, and
I don't.
Right.
I mean, if it has a little funky spot on it, I'll cut it off, but you don't really have to.
you don't have to.
It's organic, you know, so.
And you
I'm
don't
not
puree the
concerned.
soup, so it's going to have little chewy pieces in it.
Well, I'm going to puree it.
Oh, you are
too.
going to puree it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so then it doesn't matter.
So you don't need to.
And there's
Otherwise, I
probably
would have used
vitamins
this.
in it.
Yeah. You know, that's the thing. You know, the vitamins are always in the skin.
I think
so.
I have to find out also how to store ginger. I realize it goes dark almost like in 2 days.
Does it? Mine stays
Yeah,
fine in the
center.
fridge.
Yep. You know
That
what's
I
a good
didn't
thing to
purchase.
do is put it in the freezer, and you just put it in a freezer bag,
I
and
like
then
that idea.
and then you grate it up, and it comes out like a little, you know, powder. It's like snow. It's great.
That
Wow,
sounds
that's a great
wonderful.
idea.
I've been living on
And you can
ginger.
actually cut it in pieces the size you
That's
would
what I
use for a
do.
recipe and then
Yep.
freeze it.
And then leave it back in the freezer. Yeah.
And how do you know you're choosing the proper ginger? Like yours is so fresh looking and beautiful. Is there any
Well, always look to see that there isn't, you know, any decay. Sometimes they can be moldy. You know, that just tells you that it's been sitting around the store for a long time, you know.
they don't have a long shelf life, do they?
I don't know.
I think it's a root.
I think so,
it
'cause they're a
lasts.
root.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just put it in a plastic bag and throw it in one of the drawers.
The
one of the-
hydrate?
Huh?
In the refrigerator?
Yeah, one of those freshener drawers or whatever they're called, crisper
Yeah,
drawers. And gosh, Linda, it lasts for months.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've
it
always-
doesn't go bad.
No.
And you know, it's such a great flavor. It's like aromatic. You know, you smell
I
it now.
love
It
it.
smells so good.
I
love it.
for Thanksgiving made butternut squash soup, and the last time I made it, I put in too much chicken broth, and it was a little. Did you have dinner there that night? It was a little watery. The next day, it had thickened up, and it was perfect. But that night, it was a little watery. So the next time when I made it for Thanksgiving, I threw in some carrots and a piece of ginger about that big. It was so good.
Yeah, it changes
so easy
everything.
to make.
Yeah, I know. I mean, look at this. This didn't take long, you know.
No, done.
You just have to put it in and let it cook.
Yeah. Is the stove on high enough? Is it cranking
It's
away?
on 8, so
Okay.
I just put it on higher.
And how will you know
'Cause
it's done? Are you a taster as you go?
No, I don't taste my food. I smell it, you know.
Oh, really?
And because the carrots are, you know, a hard vegetable, usually you can tell when in a soup like this, when the carrots start getting soft or when the lentils start melting, that they don't have any definite shape any longer and they just kind of blend, then you know it's done.
And you probably don't want to really overcook things because it loses vitamins, although carrots are one of those vegetables that if they're cooked slightly, they release more vitamins
I didn't
than they do raw. Isn't that true, Eileen?
I think so.
Yeah.
They're really
Yeah,
an
they're
excellent
really good.
vegetable, you know, and they are kind of sweet.
They're
So
high in
lot of sugar.
carbohydrates. Some people are concerned
yeah,
about
so
that.
you know that's why I tell people instead of just having, you know, one vegetable like a carrot juice, for instance, it's too sweet. It's really not that good for you because you're taking all the fiber out, and it's like eating sugar.
Yeah.
So even though it has the good carotenoids in it, you don't want to be eating something that sweet because it does spike your sugar level.
Yeah.
And so you add other things to it. You add wonderful greens like parsley. I love parsley.
Yeah, I love parsley.
This I picked from my garden.
Yay.
And
Parsley goes for
Garden
a
is
long
still
time.
flourishing.
yep, parsley can grow all winter. I was reading about it and people have told me, and what I did was I composted and put it over it, and it's just doing great. And we had that frost today. We had a real intense frost, and it was just fine. So
Beautiful.
That's cool.
yeah,
Perfection.
yeah, I love parsley. So the parsley we'll put on at the end, but I'm just going to chop some up.
So Jennifer had some friends over last night, and one of the boys said that he's juicing now. And he looks so healthy. And when I was in my 20s, they were all like 23 now, I was juicing every day. And you can juice a pound of carrots, and it makes like 3/4 of a glass of juice.
Yeah.
So you put in a handful of spinach, a handful of parsley.
You put kale in.
I
Kale
never
is
wasn't
excellent.
into kale then, but ooh, your kale show was so good. We started eating kale after that show.
Good.
We eat it probably twice a week now.
This
It's
is the
so
season
good
for it too.
you.
It's really sweet this time of year. It likes the colder weather.
Yep.
Yeah, I love kale.
And and every once in a while, a little piece of beet, because beet too is very high in sugar,
Yeah,
but it's a
good
blood
for you.
purifier.
Yes.
So it's good to, and you only need a little
good for
piece.
your
It turns
liver.
the whole juice pink anyway,
Yeah,
right?
makes it
but
pretty.
it makes it taste so good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so great when you have
Yeah.
a fresh juice.
Yeah,
I
beets
have
are
a
excellent.
wonderful
Yeah.
woman who used to make for me jugo beterraba, which was basically beet juice, and beet and carrot and ginger.
Yeah.
Oh,
Esperanza.
yeah, a lot of people put
Oh,
ginger in their juices.
Yeah,
sensational.
I
Oh,
do
love
too.
ginger.
Yeah.
In anything, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people do carrot and apple and ginger, and
I understand.
too sweet.
That doesn't
well,
work.
and also I used to own a health food store.
Yeah, right.
Also, fruits take different enzymes to digest than vegetables. So it's not great to mix fruit and vegetables, even though
what
it
I heard.
tastes good.
You could see
It's
They
not
say
good
that
to mix
apple
fruit and
is the only one you can mix.
Okay.
That's the only one, nothing else. Yeah.
doing vegetable, do vegetable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Oh, so you
think
can
it's
mix
just as
apple.
I just started
apple is the
getting-
only one. I guess because of the pectin. You
Maybe.
know, it's got its own
So
enzymes
good for
and it
you.
helps it to break
Ooh,
down.
the Macoun apples now.
They're my favorite.
Aren't they great? They're so crispy.
Yeah,
Ooh.
they are my favorite. I wait
Me
all
too.
year for them.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
I
What do you
love
make
them.
with the macoons?
I made a cranberry apple crisp for Thanksgiving.
my.
Fabulous.
It was out of this world. Just throw a little oats on it and some sucanat and what else? A little bit of wheat flour. And that was it.
This is your flour base or the
The wheat
crust?
flour.
Just
Oh,
no crust, just apples and cranberries, and then you stirred those up with a little bit
Stewed
of
them up
sugar.
first?
No, you don't even cook them. You just bake the whole thing in the oven at
You
once.
stir them with a little bit like brown sugar
Yeah, well,
or turbinado
sucanat
sugar?
is
I don't know sucanat. What's
it's cane
sucanat?
sugar. It's pure cane sugar. It doesn't have any. It hasn't been refined,
Uh-huh.
so it has all the minerals in it,
Can
which
you
is
get
what
that
you want.
locally?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should be able to
Sucanat?
get a health food store. Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, there's other name brands. That's the brand name, but Rapadura is another one. Just look for unrefined cane sugar.
How do you come up
cool.
to date with all of these? In other words, you research, obviously this must be something that chefs like yourself know
It's a
all
passion.
about. It's a passion.
Yeah, yeah. But
you
I've
have a
been cooking
website?
like that. Yes.
Oh, that's
yes.
great.
Be healthy now.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Be healthy now, and you do wonderful newsletters. I like your newsletters.
Thanks. Yeah.
So, what are the other benefits of ginger? I know ginger has a lot of
Ginger
benefits.
is great for digestion. And if people have a headache or they feel a little flu or a cold or anything like that, your head and your stomach are connected. And so if you have a headache, even if you don't have a stomach ache, if you make yourself some ginger tea, and all you have to do is slice a little piece off and throw it in a cup of hot water, and you have ginger tea. You don't have to
You
do
don't have
anything.
to boil it.
No.
Because Jennifer cuts
I
up a
do.
ton of ginger and then she boils it.
You don't have to.
And then the ginger all gets thrown away, and it's like a whole thing of ginger. She
I
uses.
even eat the ginger. You know, I'll
Yeah,
eat the piece.
we eat it, actually. Yeah, out of the tea. Yeah.
And it
definitely.
calms your stomach down and it gets rid of a headache.
And I would imagine
use
it
it for
works
a
like
rub.
eucalyptus kind of
Yes.
for your lungs. That
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
it's so
Purifier.
powerful.
It is powerful. It's good for your digestion and for women's reproductive. Yeah, female reproductive.
There on 8th Street in Greenwich Village, I stopped into a coffee shop, and I was going for just a cup of tea, and I looked up, and one of those pots was a beautiful pot of ginger tea, all fresh chunks of ginger, and then the light bulb went off, and I'm like, why can't I do this at home? And then so I keep a pot going all the time of ginger tea.
Oh, good.
And even when I have a cup of black tea, I still
Throw
pour
some
the
in.
ginger tea in, and
Gives
it's
it a nice
constant.
flavor, right?
I
Yeah.
love it.
And
It's a
everybody's
very
into
nice
chai
flavor.
now. I'm drinking a chai, as you are too. Now the green tea, the chai green tea has a lot of caffeine in it, doesn't it? It's really good for you.
No, that's
It's
too
a different
strong
kind of
for me.
caffeine than coffee.
It doesn't keep you awake at night?
No,
'Cause
it affects the body in a different way, and it's got catechins in it that are very good for protecting you from getting cancer.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you wanted to get decaffeinated, I wouldn't even recommend it, but if you don't want the caffeine, you can get decaffeinated, but it changes it because you're
I would think so.
processing it, you know,
Yeah.
just like anything.
Oh, so
So the
yeah, I
less
guess if I drink
processing,
it
the better.
early in the day, it's not good. I'm
You know
very
what's good
caffeine
about
sensitive.
green tea is you want to have it at 98 degrees. You don't want to boil the water because when you boil the water, it becomes acidic to your stomach.
Oh,
And I found that out from going to Chinatown and going on tours. And I asked them in a tea ceremony, I said, I would love to drink more green tea, but it upsets my stomach. And they said, oh, that's because you're boiling the water.
You know, I read once that for herbal teas, do not boil the water, just bring it up to
not,
that
yeah.
point, herbals. But
Yeah.
of course, for black teas, they say boil the water.
yeah.
Yeah.
But also, people
Interesting, right?
will leave their tea bags in the tea for a long time.
Yeah.
And after the basic tea comes out, it releases tannins, and tannins are not good for you.
they're
And
too
like my
acidic.
mom used to save the tea bag and make a second cup out of it, and I was like, Mom, I'd buy her a box of 100 tea bags. I'm like, now look, this is going to last you for like months.
Yeah.
Throw the tea bag away. It's like a half a penny. Half a penny, Mom.
Yeah. Some people like it rich like that. I don't know. I don't. I always,
Yeah, well, at a certain point, it doesn't get any richer. It's just tannins you're getting. Yeah.
I
So
don't
how
like
does that look in there? I'm curious.
It's getting there.
Lovely.
Smells good.
Smells
So
fabulous.
now, did you use a cup of lentils?
Probably more. because I figure there's 3 of us and we'll have a little left over. And yeah, I think I put about 1.5 cups
Okay.
of lentils in.
And then, what, 6 carrots?
Yeah, about 6 carrots, about a pound of carrots. Those are big carrots, so, you know,
Yeah.
I tell people to use about a pound.
And a shallot, but you could make it with an onion if
Yeah.
you didn't have a shallot.
Yeah,
Onion.
an
Or
onion works.
scallions.
Now,
Yeah,
I
scallions
seem
you
to
can
always
put on
start soups by putting a little olive oil in the pot and sautéing the onion first. Do you need to do that, or
don't
can
really
you
have
just do
to.
water and throw everything in it?
Yeah, you
Does
can
it taste the
just-
same?
Well, it might have a little more flavor in the, you know, because of the oil taking on the flavor of the onion or the shallot. But, you know, it still tastes good. So if people don't want to take the time to do that, or they don't want, you know, or they don't have oil, or, you know, they're in a big rush, it's not necessary. When I make soup, I don't really do that. I know, I think my mom used to always do that with everything, and
that's
making a
exact-
tomato sauce.
It seems like I
do it.
start everything by sautéing an onion.
Yeah, yeah. I used to do that with my tomato sauce, you know, a little garlic, a little onion sautéed. But it's best to eat the stuff raw, so
Yeah.
cooking it less is actually better.
Yeah, it's
you know,
true.
because you get more nutrients from it.
Yeah.
So I like to try and.
Linda sent out around an email of the 109-year-old man, Bernardo.
Wow, no.
Oh, I'll have to send it to you.
Yeah.
From Brazil, and his father was an herbalist.
Oh, great.
And he's an herbalist.
Great.
He looks about 50, right? Skin gorgeous. He rubs olive oil on his
every
skin. And the man has
These
an
are things we were taught when we were
entire
kids.
life, since he's 4 years old,
Wow.
90% of his diet is
But I
raw.
wanted to ask him, I don't think they asked them the right questions,
He
honestly.
was cute, though, that interviewer.
He was very
He was cute. The guy who was interviewing him was adorable.
Yeah. But he didn't ask the right questions because this man was 109. Of course, he buried his kids, he buried his wife. And
one of his
I was
kids, yeah.
wondering,
That kinda
I'm wondering,
stinks.
like, how did he even stay married eating raw foods all his life? Like, not one lasagna, not one
Oh, he was living in
meal.
Brazil. He had rice
It's a
and
warmer
beans.
climate.
I wondered, but the wife had to be the same, or if not,
Yeah.
how would you'd be so frustrated trying to feed this man.
Well, was it actually raw,
it's
or,
easy.
you know, like
No,
there's raw
raw,
food is
raw.
to dehydrate.
Blueberries
and,
every day. Blueberries every day. A lot of
He really
cantaloupe.
cherished his own body,
kale.
and he said, you know, that's the thing to do, all the fresh vegetables.
Yeah.
And again, he walked the walk.
He did.
And you could see, he was great. He said he rubbed himself down with olive oil. And
He was
and
beautiful
all that
man,
was-
109 years
I'll
old
send
and
it to
bright
you.
as a penny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saved it.
And
I put it.
again,
I put it on YouTube. I didn't put on Facebook.
On
Oh, I don't.
Facebook,
I'm
you put
trying
it
to
up
get
on
these
too.
things. I did. I think I tried to put it on Facebook and couldn't figure out how to do it.
Well, now you could put it on Twitter. I was this
Oh, you
morning on
can,
Twitter, and that's a whole other world.
Yeah, I haven't been on Twitter in a long time. In the
outrageous.
beginning, I did it a few. You know, but
they're
I
uploading
can't
everything.
have time for all
Now
of
this
them.
is smelling
I know.
seriously delicious.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
The lentils are melting down, so you can see.
Very
Well,
nice.
we have
Now,
3
because
minutes left, so
I
if you're
like
going to blend that,
spicy.
can we blend it now before it's finished?
I guess so, yeah, and we can heat it up some more later. That's fine.
Yeah.
And because I like spicy, I guess curry would go into that, or
You
a
could put
white
curry in,
pepper.
sure.
I
Curry
use
is
white
great,
pepper a
you
lot
know.
as well. Ground
Pearl?
white pepper I use very often.
Let's have it has a different flavor than regular pepper.
And a different aroma too.
What about pepper?
Cayenne
Eileen?
pepper is very good for you.
Cayenne is
Wonderful.
That's
so
the
good for you.
best. That'll give your immune system a good jolt. Thank you. It's one of those things that you need.
Oh, did you want to put you're going to put the parsley in the blender?
No, I'm going to put that in, sprinkle it on top.
Oh, it's a garnish.
Yeah, it'll be pretty. So we'll put this on.
Okay.
Does the soup have a name? Can we name
Carrot ginger soup.
Carrot, lentil, ginger soup.
Well, we're blending up that soup, and you're about to taste it. Yummy, 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 yummy.
Smells good.
Yummy, 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 yummy. I love the cooking shows because we get to eat in the
there's
end.
something so wonderful. Whenever I see these cooking shows on television, it's like, she goes, bon appetit.
Oh, yeah. But you learn so many tips when you watch a cooking show.
Yeah.
That it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, you want to have, good, healthy food that tastes good, but it's going to give you energy in the end. What I tell people to do is, in a half an hour, see how your energy is. And, if you have a test or you have something that you must do, see how clear your mind is and see the difference between eating
A candy bar.
Oh, boy. I don't want to say that. See, I like color, so I just think it's so beautiful, right?
Beautiful.
Oh, yes.
Linda.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're very
Yeah.
So
welcome.
lovely.
And if you want, you can add a pinch of salt.
Oh, yeah, you
I
didn't put any salt or pepper in it.
No.
Let's see how it
was
is
gonna.
with the natural flavors. Delish. Delish. So, folks, soup's on. It's fall in the Hamptons. We just had Thanksgiving weekend.
Oh, this would have been great with turkey. Right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, this would help you to
Perfect
digest.
So buy that ginger and those red lentils. Look at Eileen's website, Be Healthy Now. And thank you so much for joining us on the Ladies' Room.
Thanks for having
Leave
me.
yourself lots of room, ladies.
Wonderful.
Room for love, room for fun, room to grow, and room to glow. We are glowing with all this good food. Thank you, Eileen. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes.
Thank
This is
you.
so hearty.
Yeah.
I love it.
Breathe in. Now I took what I want, but you find that everything I've got, you step forwards to my shadow.